Good morning, and another Friday morning get together here. Today we're going to go over just some brief overview of the second chapter of my book, Real Women Change the World, Letting the Good Girl Die so the Real Woman Can Live. This title is called Communication Skills. It is so important. After mindset, our communication skills define us. They let the world see how we see us on this planet. And it's really imperative that they see that we recognize our power, we recognize who we are, we recognize where we want to go, we recognize our vision. If we can't put that out there, there's no reason to expect that they are going to. So just take a look, if you will, sitting back quietly for 10 minutes or so and just following along with me. Breathing in, letting it go so we can hear this clearly without judgment, and just look within yourself and see how much of this applies to you. How much of this is your way, without even knowing it, of self-sabotaging yourself, of holding yourself back and putting an image of you out there that you don't want. I have worked with women who've come in to see me, and literally they have the voice of a 2 or 3-year-old. They have a voice of somebody who is just so delicate and so nice and so kind. And there is, I can't even do it, there is such a high-pitched little girl tone to their voice. They come in with that, hoping to have immense credibility, hoping to be taken seriously, hoping to be seen as somebody who truly is powerful and knows where they're going. The truth is, when somebody approaches you with the tone of a 3-year-old or 4-year-old, you don't give them credibility. It doesn't matter how much they've got. It doesn't matter how much they know. Their presentation says, I identify as a young child. If that's their identification, why would you want to invest in them? Why would you want to put your company in their hands if they're identifying with themselves as a 3-year-old? There's also that child who presents as a 12-year-old. This woman who truly is stuck in 12, 13, 14 years of age, and there is an attitude in her voice. There is a defiance in her voice. There is as adolescents do, I know everything about everything tone to her voice, who again with that is hoping to be seen as highly credible and highly capable. This may seem petty to you, it may seem small, but honestly, my goal here is in supporting you, recognizing the good girl and recognizing the adult woman so that you can stand in a place where you naturally, without an ounce of effort, put out that solid woman that you truly are, so that that's what the world gets to see. That's how they understand you from the get-go, from the moment you reach your hand out to shake somebody's hand with a solid grasp, not to break their hand, but a solid grasp. Do not reach out with a delicate little hand that is so frightened of holding on. Hold on, let them feel your solidity, not your aggression, your solidity. And from that, reaching out and shaking someone's hand and opening your mouth, immediately they have a sense of who you are and how you walk on this planet. All right? So important. What is the tone? What is the message? What do you want to put across? There is also that fear that you hear in the voice sometimes where people just desperately want to be liked. It is so important to them to be liked. When you need to be liked that much, I assure you, you won't be. There is always going to be somebody on this planet who will not like you. There will probably be more than one person on this planet that won't like you. And you know what? That's okay. That's their issue. It's not yours. There are people on this planet that will be judging you no matter what you do. That's okay. You cannot be so tentative as you walk through the world, because if you're not, somebody won't like you. I assure you, it doesn't matter how tentative you are, they won't like you. It doesn't matter how assertive you are, they won't like you. Because some people just won't like you. You remind them of an aunt, you remind them of a school teacher they didn't like, you remind them of a niece that is obnoxious. It doesn't matter. Let it go. Do not govern your tone, do not govern your presence by whether or not somebody likes you. If you are authentic, if you are truly you, just put it out there, and put it out there subtly, because that's who you are. That's who you are. And if you're old enough to be watching this, if you're over 18, if you're over 28, 38, 48, it doesn't matter. You're now a woman and need to present as such. And if you're going to present as such, present solid, not with this weak tone. They don't want to hear a fighter. And if you walk around in the energy of fighter as if that's proving through your voice that you're powerful, because you can be defiant, you can be resistant, you can be whatever, that's a defensive tone. A powerful tone is never in defense. A powerful tone is never aggressive, and it's never loud. Think about this. When people have to shout in order to be heard, they're coming from a belief that otherwise they wouldn't be heard. So they're coming from fear. You want to talk with power, you want to talk with solidity, but not with aggression and not extremely loud. That simply means I want to be center stage. If you're on the stage, that's a different story. And even then on the stage, you don't yell. We want to be heard. We want our message to be heard. We don't want to shove it down somebody's throat. So the point here is really watch the tone with which you speak. I suggest that what you do is go out, whether you're out anywhere this weekend, this is Friday morning, whether it's today or tonight, over the weekend, it doesn't matter. Listen. Listen for tone. Listen how people speak. Notice, truly, just notice. How are they speaking? What is happening? How are people responding? And notice if somebody talks with an expectation that they won't be heard. Because if they are talking with an expectation that they won't be heard, they're already setting themselves up, because guess what? They won't be heard. So just notice for you, what's the expectation you're putting out there? And you get that by listening. Do yourself a favor, spend the next couple of days listening to how other people speak. Listen to how they present their words. That brings up an important point that I really want to say to you. Notice the words people use. The very weak words are when I hear women say, well, I think I like that. Don't think you like it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? If you have to, I think, you've set yourself up as somebody who's frightened of saying what you truly believe, what you truly want. Don't think about what you like. Know what you like and put it out there. Don't think if you agree or disagree. Put it out there. I know that sounds like a solid idea, but I don't really agree with it. I see it from a completely different perspective. Okay, there's nothing aggressive about that. It just is a solid, I have an opinion. All right, put it out there. No, I thinks. No, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. If you know you're not going to go someplace, say, no, I'm not going to be available. It doesn't mean if you're not available because you want to stay home that night and watch a movie. It doesn't mean you're not going to be available because you already have an existing meeting or something else scheduled that's more fun or more appropriate for you business-wise. It doesn't matter. If you don't want to go, say, no, thank you. I'm not going to be able to attend. I do hope you have a wonderful time. Period. You put it out there solid. Now people know. They know they can trust your no. And then they know they can trust your yes because you're clear on both of them. So be certain, be powerful, be aware, and be conscious of the clarity. We want concise, clear presentation on everything. Notice, do you apologize for everything? I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. How many times a day do you say, I'm sorry? I don't like the phrase. There's so many ways to work around it, and I know I've mentioned this before many times. If you say I'm sorry more than once in any given day, take a look at it. Take a look at why you're so sorry. Also notice if what you do is justify your existence. And we do that with words. We justify our existence with words. We use weak words. I think maybe sort of, kind of, almost as if I have your permission, this is what I'm going to think or feel. Don't ask for permission. Go for it. Say what it is. Say what you think. Use solid words on it. Truly, use solid words on it. If you do, you don't have to hope you get heard. You will be heard. And that's so important. Clear, concise. Also notice, it's a tendency many women have. If you can say something in 12 words, do not use 430. Stick back, come on back, say what you need to say with the smallest amount of words. Really, When you need to say it in this huge array of display, when you need to explain it 42 times, there's a problem there. If you know exactly what you mean, you can say it once, you can put it out there and you're done. You don't need to say it 1,000 times. It doesn't get people to listen to you. It causes them to get tired of the conversation. Also, to go back to a point because it's important, expecting to be heard. I had a client who, for years, took care of everybody under the sun, in her family, out of her family. She has a business of service, and was terrified of saying, I need and I want. And when it finally came time that she had no choice but to say, I need and I want, because she didn't know how to say it, she waited until she was in such desperate need, she started screaming it out. And she started crying. She was upset. She was pushed in a corner. And she said it, and still they didn't hear her. They knew she was upset, let her be upset, and they all walked away. They had no idea what was going on. When she could learn to clearly state, I need help with this, I need help with that, and I need you to do this now so that we could go forward. When she could say it clearly, not hoping they would hear her, but with expectation, everything in her life changed. Everything in her life changed. It became a whole other situation for her. You need to take a look at that. The good girl in you, the good girl that's frightened of being solid, frightened of being present, not only holds herself back, she is held back by the world because they don't see the power. They don't see the ability. If someone's going to trust you with something in your business or in your neighborhood, a neighborhood party, it doesn't matter what it may be. If somebody's going to trust that you can execute it, that you can make it happen, they need to know that you've got not only the drive, but the ability. Good intent is marvelous, but without an ability to stand up and say, I need, and to organize and to make things happen, they know it's not going to take place. Your good intentions are useless if you're not able to execute, if you're not able to make things happen. So put it out there clearly in your tone. I can do this, I will do this, and it's all set. You can trust me to take it and run with it. I will make it happen. Notice that in the tone, you're putting that expectation on you, which really holds you accountable for your own behavior. And they're holding you accountable because of a promise you made. Don't let the good girl hold you back. Let the real woman out. Let her speak with power, speak with authority, and know what she can and cannot commit to, and let her express her opinion solidly. Really, that's what people want. That's where they are coming from. That's what the hope and expectation for you. If they're going to see you as a real woman, you need to be able to communicate that you are one. Through tone, through the words you use, through the number of words you use. Do not over-explain. If they didn't get it the first time, they probably didn't want to get it. All right? All right, then. Thank you so very much. I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.